Hey folks, Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. We are still working on getting the studio completely set up, so there's still a little bit of echo here, but I just want to say thank you. We're going on almost 890 episodes now with this main show that we've had, and that's even with taking some time off. So thank you guys for finding value in what we're doing and continuing to keep us going. I want to look at something that the FTC is doing. We saw this starting in the fourth quarter of 2021 when the FTC lost in a Supreme Court ruling that said you cannot just arbitrarily decide what monetary damages are done and go to a court and get a reward. Not going to do that, especially in most cases after the FTC had already gained control of the company through TROs and permanent injunctions. So what the FTC did is they said, well, that's not fair. But then somebody got smart and went backwards into the archives and realized, wait a minute, we have the penalty offense authority that we used for decades. Let's just pull it out and put all the industries on notice. And they have 5 main industries, but this I want to specific on marketing because that's really where most of our participants are, that you guys that view us, watch us, talk to us. You're in marketing of some kind. So they went out and they said, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to nail the industries. And they went after everybody from Amazon to direct sales, you name it, they've done it. One of the first things they said is FTC puts businesses on notice that false money-making claims could lead to big penalties. Because under the penalty offense authority, every claim, let's not put a company out of business, we'll lose money. Let's just hit them for every claim. And it's like 43,000. Now I hear it's up to 46,000. And we've reported on this. But here's where we're going to fast forward a little bit of, well, do we need to worry about the penalty offense authority? And the answer to that is fully yes. Matter of fact, when you look at the penalty offense authority and how long it's been around, they had used it from 1941 until 1980. And then they flipped over to 13B and they started using it. So they've had lots of success with the penalty offense authority, but they didn't stop there because that does take a lot of man hours, it takes a lot of time in court, takes a lot of energy to be able to make that work. So what they've ended up doing, this came out February 17th, 2022. FTC takes action to combat bogus money-making claims used to lure people into dead-end debt traps. Now, I reported on this last week, but I'm going to go deeper now because this is why this is important. When you actually dig into how the copywriting is on this press release, you start to notice that they are pulling keywords that are used across the board when it comes to money-making opportunities. They're also making their own claims. They are claiming that they want to combat bogus money-making claims that lure people. Now, when you say it's going to lure people, two things comes to mind. One, are you manipulating those people? Are you persuading those people? Or as we know some politicians have said, are these just ignorant people and they don't know how to do their own due diligence? Listen, I believe we need regulations. I believe there need to be borders. But I also understand when I'm looking at the Federal Trade Commission, how they are wording things that's going to get SEO. It's going to get out there. And when you read this press release, it's proceeding to challenge bogus money-making claims. Now, here's the question. Who's to decide if it's bogus or not? Does that mean we're going to go to court on all of these? Or is this new rule going to be a little bit more like 13B and give them the authority just to do what they want? Remember, we hire politicians, and then the politicians put together the processes that we have, well, what they think is in our best interest. The question is it in our best interest? That's the key here. And when I read this press release and I go on down, it goes on and it really starts to hone in. Now, this is where more of the keywords come into play. Here's what we see. If finalized, a rule in this area would allow the commission to recover, redress, or defrauded customers and seek steep penalties against multi-level marketers, for-profit colleges, the gig economy, gig economy platforms, and other bad actors who prey on people's hopes for economic advancement. Now that right there, they're making a judgment call. And they're saying that basically those industries are preying on people. And that's not, we pray for the people sometimes. But the key here is when you look at Main Street America, I don't care if it's the business owner, the visionary that puts it together, or it's the person that says, hey, I want to try this out, and for a few $100, sometimes a few $1,000s, I will give this a try and I will do it. What I've found in it has been 40 years in the sales and marketing arena, and that is from being an independent rep going door to door to owning companies, launching companies, being an advisor with companies. The majority of the time, this is not true all the time. There are some bad actors out there. The majority of the time, the reason a person fails in any endeavor is because they didn't work at it. They didn't become a student of the industry that they're in. They didn't become a student of their products, and they didn't become a student of the company. They did it sometimes, if you will. They didn't do it full time. And here's an example. I don't care what sport it is. If you decide you want to go for it, you know the odds are you're not going to make it into the NFL, into the NBA, into any of the major leagues that are out there. But you're going to give it your all, and you're going to be the best you can be. I have a daughter. She just turned 14. Okay, she has been a national gymnastics champion for several years in a row before she retired at the age of 12. Okay, but we were spending 30 hours a week or more with her in training. And when she hurt her knee, she decided, I'm going to retire at 12 and I'm going to go do something else. Totally out of the blue that she could even advance that high, but she put that kind of effort into her game. When people put effort in, there's no guarantee they're going to win, but the odds are far better that they will. The FTC doesn't take that into account. Neither does Craig. They just say, well, look, if all these people lost, then it must be a scam. And it's not true. And to write in a way that makes it look that way so that you can get SEO is wrong. You may be saying, now, Troy, I don't know that the FTC is that smart. Let me explain something to you. From the chairman down, the average age is somewhere in the Gen Y all the way down to the millennials. Okay, the chairwoman's only like in her 30s. They're using the same tactics, the same strategies that you are. Now, one of the things that they claim is that there's been more fraud income claim reported to them. Now, you don't know that because unless you investigate it, unless you get an actual court to say, yeah, that's a scam, you can't say that's a scam. And I'm going to tell you right now, competitors send crap in all the time to hurt a company. Former reps in companies, former affiliates, whatever you want to call them, if they get pissed at the company, then they start telling people, hey, go file claims, go file all these claims, go tell them that this is what you're doing. File all these complaints with the FTC and with all these regulators, and we're going to get them down. With the whistleblower rule, a lot of these people are just jamming up anything that they can find. They don't do their own due diligence on this. But then the FTC wants to go after all of this. This goes on. The agency has sued multi-level marketing companies, Herbalife and Advocare. They use 13B. That is correct. Alleging they promoted high earnings, even though most participants made little money. Most participants do make little. I don't care what it is. The majority of the people are not going to make walk-away income. I've been in the sales and marketing profession, have made a lot of money, and have busted my butt and been bankrupt twice. It's not always up. It's going to be down. But I had to work hard, and I never quit. And I kept going, and I kept going, and I kept going. Most people won't do that. But most brick and mortar businesses lose. Look at what the Small Business Administration says, period. Within the first year, most of them are bankrupt. Within the first 3 years, a few more are bankrupt. Within the first 5 years, half of them are bankrupt. Within the first 10 years, the majority are bankrupt. It doesn't matter what it is. It happens. Not everybody's going to be that top dog winner. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you this right now. Not everyone should be in business for themselves. Not everyone should be saying, hey, I'm going to join network marketing or this. Anybody that goes out there and tells you network marketing is the greatest opportunity in the world today is just blowing smoke up your butt from something they heard back in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s. There are lots of gig economy, Main Street businesses. You don't have to go out and recruit people. You can just slap a sign on your car that says, hey, I'm here. I'll pick you up. I'll take you somewhere. It's awesome to live in the 21st century. But the FTC doesn't think that. They even went after Amazon, rightfully so. Amazon did this flex deal. They told these people, go out here, work for us, keep your tips, all that stuff. And then somehow Amazon ended up with all the tips. What we don't see in the press release is, was that a technical glitch? Was it on purpose? What was the case? It wasn't the people, it was the FTC that went after them. And I think that's great. When there's something like that, let's clean it up. But let's not put everybody in the same ballpark. Don't write your press releases just to try to make it look like, oh my gosh, everybody's out there, everybody's bad. It doesn't work that way. But here's what you need to do. This is the takeaway. Listen to me. Don't make a bunch of bogus income claims. Matter of fact, I challenge you. We live in an era where empathy marketing has taken control. This isn't a fear of loss marketing anymore. If you're still marketing that way, you're going to get hit by the FTC. What you need to do is be legit and be straightforward. Look, if you join my company, the odds are you're not going to make a lot of money, but you might get your product free. So only join if you like the product. There you go. Now, a few of you might be able to really go out there and get it because you like sales and marketing. And guess what? You're going to build a little bit of a team and you're probably going to earn a few $100. But most of you are going to make zero because most people on my team make zero. That's how you do that. But if you're seeking to change your life and you want to try our products, you want to give it a shot, you might make some money. The one thing I can guarantee you, you will grow as a person. If you listen to our coaching, our education, if you get in here and learn about business, if you learn about health and wellness, crypto, whatever it is you're doing, then you're going to be a better person and you're going to be able to help educate other people. Just be legit with it. Don't blow smoke up their butt. Don't be sitting in front of a rented Ferrari. Don't be setting up against somebody else's Ferrari. Don't pretend you're in some big house when about 25 of you went in and rented it for a week. Just be straight up. Don't be showing off your Gucci's and your Louis Vuitton and then find out that, hey, that came from Hong Kong. That's why my hand's not where it's supposed to be. Stop that crap. Do it right or you're going to get hit by the regulators. It's that plain and simple. Do it right or there are going to be people that are going to turn you into regulators. Company owners. Police your field. Protect the house. Do what's right. Stop looking at, oh man, if we just make enough money in the first 3 years, in the first 5 years, hey, we can quit. Don't do that. If you don't believe in what you're doing, then don't even get into the business. Matter of fact, most of you are just glorified reps that have no clue how to run a business anyway. So don't even get in there. I don't care what industry it is. Make sure you're doing it for the right reason. If you're not out there truly wanting to change people's lives with your product, with your income opportunity, with your services, if you don't actually want to change the world, don't get into business, man. Just go get a job somewhere or go get your own independent sales organization and go kill it. Go do something great. Don't screw everybody else. Folks, live life like it's an epic adventure. Stay dangerous, stay strong. And if you're a Main Street entrepreneur, act like it.